something strange is happening on Tyneside. And no, we're not talking about just another transfer rumor. It's the kind of quiet, almost invisible movement that doesn't make headlines in the papers. But the more attentive fans are already starting to pick up on it. There's a sense that something important is being decided behind closed doors. Silent meetings, discreet phone calls, familiar names reappearing in internal talks, and an air of quiet reorganization that's putting everyone on alert. If you're a Newcastle United fan, now's the time to start paying close attention. And hey, if you're following our channel and want to stay up to date with everything going on at Newcastle with no nonsense and trusted sources, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. That one click really helps support our work and ensures you'll get every update, every behind-the-scenes leak, every bit of breaking news about the club. And trust me, what we're about to tell you could shift the direction of one of the team's most important positions. In recent days, one low-key name has been gaining more and more ground inside St. James Park. We're not talking about a global superstar or a hot prospect from the academy. This is someone who could prove crucial for the squad's balance, even if they don't usually grab the spotlight. Meanwhile, other names that had previously been discussed as potential options now seem to be off the table, creating a scenario where experience and internal knowledge of the club are being valued more than flashy CVs. This quiet shift started becoming more visible when Newcastle released the long-awaited retained and released list for the 2025-26 season. Jamal Lewis's departure was already expected and has been confirmed. But two other names were left hanging in the balance, John Ruddy and Callum Wilson. The club stated that talks would take place with both over possible contract extensions, which immediately caught the attention of both the media and the fans. After all, these are two veterans with very different roles within the squad, and that's where the central revelation of this story comes in, according to journalist Chris Waugh from The Athletic. Newcastle are indeed making progress in talks to extend John Ruddy's contract. Yes, the same Ruddy who arrived quietly but has grown into a respected figure in the dressing room and a reliable backup option. What's more, with that deal now edging closer, the club sees it as increasingly unlikely they'll move forward with interest in two other veteran keepers who had been linked behind the scenes, Fraser Forster and Tim Krul. Now, for those unfamiliar, both Forster and Krul have a history on Tyneside. They're names that carry a degree of emotional connection with the club and, for that reason, were considered as options to strengthen the goalkeeping department, especially with UEFA's homegrown player requirements in mind. But according to the same source, while both were discussed internally, the club is expected to pass on them, largely due to the positive progress with Ruddy. And just look at how such a seemingly minor decision could end up shaping the squad's overall planning. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the time. We're keeping track of everything with great attention to detail and bringing you the most accurate information available. And the most important thing, we always make a point of citing our sources like Chris Waugh in this case, one of the most respected journalists covering Newcastle United. If you appreciate serious, well-researched content about the Magpies, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're bringing you full coverage as the new season approaches. The decision to renew Ruddy's contract isn't just about football, it's also a strategic one. With Jamal Lewis leaving and Callum Wilson's future still uncertain, holding on to at least one veteran presence could be seen as a way to preserve leadership and experience within the squad. Mark Gillespie, another goalkeeper in the group, has also had his deal extended for another year, showing that the club wants to maintain a degree of stability in that area, at least until a bigger decision is made about the future of the position. Speaking of the future, the goalkeeping situation at Newcastle is far from settled. One of the key targets right now is James Trafford, a name that's been frequently mentioned as a priority for the position. If this signing goes ahead, we could see a major shakeup in the goalkeeping hierarchy, particularly when it comes to Nick Pope and Martin Dubravka. Both are still with the club, but neither has any guarantees about their role going forward. Pope's case is especially delicate, given the injuries that kept him out for long spells. While he was the undisputed starter when fit, concerns over his physical condition have influenced the club's decision-making. As for Dubravka, who's had a mix of strong games and shakier performances, he's no longer seen as untouchable. That's why a potential move for James Trafford, young, talented and with long-term potential, could spark a full-on reshuffle in Newcastle's goalkeeping department. It's also worth noting that other names were considered, such as Freddie Woodman, who previously had a spell at the club, and Odysseus Vlachodimos, who might have arrived on loan. But those options seem to have lost momentum for different reasons. In Vlachodimos' case, a loan deal wouldn't help Newcastle from a PSR profit and sustainability rules perspective. And in Woodman's case, the club appears to be prioritizing more established profiles or players who can offer immediate technical returns. If you're enjoying this kind of detailed coverage and want more breaking news, behind-the-scenes updates, and in-depth analysis of every move Newcastle make this summer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Our mission is to deliver properly sourced and thoughtful content for the fans, and your support helps us keep this work going strong. Let's move forward together. Back to the PSR issue, it's important to understand that every move Newcastle make this window is being calculated with precision. Selling assets, leveraging homegrown players, and even the structure of new contracts are all being carefully examined to ensure the club remains within regulations and avoids sanctions. That's why moves like renewing Ruddy or keeping Gillespie carry strategic weight. They save resources and preserve squad continuity. At the same time, the club remains alert to market opportunities that could strengthen the squad without disrupting the financial balance. This transfer window won't just be about headline signings, it will be about smart decisions. The coaching staff, led by Eddie Howe, and the board, under Darren Eales, are working together to ensure every target fits the club's sporting and financial strategy. Callum Wilson's case also remains unresolved. At 33, he still has quality, but recurring injuries and age work against a straightforward renewal. The club is weighing not just his on-pitch contribution but also the financial impact of keeping him, especially as they look to build a younger and more dynamic squad. So far, there's no final word, but talks with the player are expected to progress in the coming days. Meanwhile, behind-the-scenes activity continues, and Newcastle fans can expect more news soon. This transfer window promises to be intense but also highly strategic. Each decision is shaping the squad that will compete in key competitions next season and cement the club's place among the Premier League's elite. And if you want to follow every step of that journey, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. In summary, what seemed like just another quiet backroom decision could have far-reaching implications for Newcastle United's structure. The extension of John Ruddy's deal might just be the first domino in a series of moves that will directly affect the squad's makeup, the club's transfer strategy, and even the future of experienced names like Pope and Dubravka. Stay tuned, because what's coming could change everything. And as always, you'll hear it here first, with credibility, speed, and respect for the fans.